Okay. Yes, I think we are good. So the subtasks that I wanted you to create included one is that so then you have the next one is release pipeline uh, rele- release pipeline setup uh-huh and create then the next one is build pipeline setup um, the other one would be let me just refer to some of my here other than that you need to set up what is it called so other than that you need to set up so we have the release pipeline setup, build pipeline setup. Then I think the other thing that they need to do is to configure dev environment, configure dev environment, configure dev environment, dev environment, configure dev environment. Create configure test environment, configure test environment. No,
Configure test environment.
configure you remove the word create a configure is just enough. Configure test environment.
Okay.
Configure test environments. Configure test environments. Test environments. And then configure production environment.
Configure
Production environment.
production.
Yeah.
Okay. Production environment.
Yeah. Then additionally, you also need to configure application insights. Configure application insights. Configure application insights. So I think with that, maybe the other thing that we need to just a minute, I'm just checking something. I think the other thing that we need to confirm with the team later on is what else, what other cloud infra needs to actually be configured so that we ensure that everything that needs to be done has actually been taken care of.
Nilisikia ukiongea GSP ni Firebase or something.
So
Firebase.
those are basically now analytics that needs to actually be set up. So Firebase is basically for analytics. So and that's what maybe as part of maybe the next sprint planning, we need to maybe sit down with the team and find out what are the analytic requirement that needs to be taken into account.
Okay.
Yeah. So that one now that is in the backlog, it can be prioritized for the next delivery. Yeah, so that at least it becomes part of the next sprint, and it be monitored. All those things be monitored. Yeah, so I'm just trying to see which one. AWS. So the question that before even you do that, the question that I'm going to put forth to you is that who runs with the sprints and who prioritizes these things normally?
I am like for me, what I really care about is the epics. You get
Mm,
how the devs want to prioritize or go around it. I think while they can have their own meeting to decide how they want to approach it, but from and the person who'd be leading that would be either Golda or Jacqueline.
mm,
Um, but I think Golda a lot because she's also from a technical background.
mm.
And also there is one of our Nawad Namwita senior devs who's also on the project who can be able to advise on perhaps technical matters.
Okay. So I think also as part of the cloud setup, and that's why will need maybe to have a tech guy in that session so that we understand, for example, what are the DB requirements that needs to be actually taken care of. Other than the application inside, what are the DB requirements that need to be considered in all of this? So maybe in that planning session, you just make sure that those people are there.
Okay, all right,
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah. So we can go back to the board.
Mm, mm-hmm.
So this was a 10-day sprint, if I'm not wrong, right? When did it start? Let me see. If you click on the 2 days
That was
remaining,
the
you should.
roadmap. Because the roadmap it can usually tell you when it was supposed to. So okay, here it's a bit hard because I feel like you cannot say you can only see like onboarding from here to here, notification from here to here.
So just go back to the board. The board should actually let us know the date when the sprint started. Click on the 2 days remaining up there
Where is it?
at the
Where?
top of the
Oh, here.
screen. Yeah. So it
Oh,
started
okay.
20th April to 3rd May. So it's May. So now I can see only one item, and this is where we needed the holder in the Scrum Masters. So I can see the project set up for
Mm,
backend. So, but if you scroll, let's see the splash screen. So what's the status of the splash screen? So I don't know what. Okay, we need to have, and that's why I was saying we need to ensure that the goal is well articulated. For example, so the splash screen. So create
mm,
splash screen module, create splash screen segments, implements design. So ideally here we need to have a story that speaks of what needs to be defined. And also we need to attach the asset here, which is the asset. So then
mm,
what is the acceptance criteria?
mm.
So this needs to
I
be
feel most of this will go here, the description.
yes. Because when I was
Okay.
looking at the Figma, so I can't see some of those features that needed to have been delivered as part of the splash screen, because this is
Mm,
very high, not quite making sense. Like implement splash screen design, create navigation component. So if you look at uh, at the what is it called, the design. Here, let me see if I can have the one that you sent. Let me see if I can get it.
mm,
Let me open it. So you find that there's more. So here it is. So let me just bring it. So allow me to share my screen.
okay. Let me stop sharing.
You can see the screen.
Yes, yes, I can see.
Okay. So if I look at the onboarding requirements, there were I saw some design to do with splash screen. Where is it?
Haijamaliza kuload. I think yeah. hapo chini.
Maybe I'm trying to put a lot of
Job, are you there? Oh, okay.
so just a minute. So I think what I do, let me. I think my news is getting overloaded. Let me stop sharing. Can you share your screen so that at least we see? I show you what I meant by that. My machine has.
Oh, you mean like I opened the document?
Yeah, then
The
we see
document.
it. Yeah, yeah. Yes.
Okay, so mm, so can you see it?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So if you scroll down, yes. So I think so this is there should be. I saw a splash screen, if I'm not wrong.
Here.
Yeah. So ideally, it should speak up for these three: one, two, three, four. So those four should be part
Yes,
of
for this four.
the tasks that are being delivered. So at least we get to know what's the progress, whether it's meeting the requirement. So if you look at the story, just scroll up a bit. Design attached. So yeah, here it is. As a healthcare worker, I want
Mm.
to know the benefits of using TableLink so that I can decide if I should register. So this is what I was talking about. If I'm so this can become like
Oh,
a,
this is
it's going to use
the
a story.
this is
Uh,
job
yeah,
job. So this is what you're meaning by objective. Like this is
the description.
what
That's
you
the
meant by
user.
objective.
No, 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 no. The objective started. So the objective would be the objective of the sprint
Mm.
would be um, we need to onboarding
Oh,
deliver
okay.
onboarding feature by end of the sprint. Now, part of the
Oh,
onboarding
okay.
feature will be include can we bring in the splash screen? Okay.
Oh,
Can
okay.
we bring in the registration component? Can we bring in
Mm.
the profile creation component? So all that is what we mean
Mm.
by uh, those are now the goals that will help us meet the objective. So basically, that ticket should have been broken down to this level, but we needed either Golda or Jackie to be here so that we discuss it because they're the people who are responsible for it. So maybe let's just go back, but at least we know what needs to be done. So maybe one of the things that needs to
Mm.
happen before. So I see the sprint ends on May 2nd. So ideally, we need to have a backlog grooming session before. So there's a holiday per se, so which means, but I
Mm-hmm.
hope the team that is there is, I don't know if it's an offshore team that can continue working. So that means maybe we need on Wednesday to have like a backlog grooming session to ensure that all the stories are in a ready state. We know what is going to go into
Mm.
the next sprint, we prioritize them, we estimate them, and assign them to different
Mm-hmm.
people.
Mm.
Yeah. So just open your share the what is it called,
Sorry.
the Jira. My machine
Okay.
is misbehaving. I've
Usijali.
overloaded.
I think inataka kwenda holiday at the machine.
I have overloaded it with this stream. With this, I hadn't optimized it for the streaming. It's really acting up. So, so one of the things that maybe we needed to have Golda and the team here tell us is how is it that at the end of the 10 days you only have one item in done? What's preventing
Mm.
the rest of the stories from being delivered? So you can just close this screen because ideally, if the stories are not closed by the end of the sprint, it means that it means that there's a debt which you carry forward into the next sprint. So these things have to be carried forward into the next sprint, and in the next sprint, you can only bring in a small amount of workload so that to allow the people to finish. So is it that the people are overloaded? So then the other thing that I'm seeing here, JN. I don't know who JN is, but looks like a lot of work is being done by JN, James Nyakundi. Yeah, James Nyakundi, improve
Yeah, James
collaboration.
Nyakundi.
Yeah, so there's improve collaboration. I don't know what improve collaboration is. Phone number screen, profile management, share medical data, consult with medical experts. I thought consult was a different epic. Database design is still
Yeah,
not yet
so
done.
yeah, so like that is one of the challenges that I have, which
Mm,
is you see like something that we thought is in a different epic, we
mm.
might find it on this one. I just don't know
So
how
that
it
can
will
easily
align
be
to this.
changed. That can
Mm,
easily be changed. So that's not an issue. So that's just part of the
mm,
cleanup. And that's part of the reason why the backlog grooming exercise is quite important. So one of the things we need to know capacity for the sprint. So I can see the only two resources. This James Nyakundi, and then who's the other one?
mm.
DG. Who's DG?
Dennis Gatere.
Dennis Gatere. So we need to
Yes.
know: are they taking up too much, or is it that they are also involved in other deliveries, which makes it difficult for them to focus on this particular product delivery? So resource availability and capacity is the other thing that needs to be brought up to surface.
Mm.
Yeah, and
Yeah, I think what I'll do is I'll tell the team we have immediately we come on Wednesday. I think it's very important to do this grooming so that at least we're able to get updates on that, and also we are also able to, how can I say, make sure that we don't continue with the same issues going forward.
but perhaps what we can do is maybe send out a calendar invite in advance with the agenda, so that that time is already blocked and everybody are in the right mindset that this needs to be done. So maybe the communication needs to be done internally that we need to have a grooming. But I think a grooming session will be more important, first of all, because we need to, uh,
Mm,
one, bring some level of sanity to the backlog and plan at least 2 to 3 sprints ahead. We need to know the capacity. We
yes.
need to know, one, the resources that have been assigned to this particular product delivery. Are they going to be there throughout, or they're going to be shared? So we need to know in advance. And we also need to, the other thing that we need to know to put out clearly out there is we need to define our cadence. Our cadence means that yes, we know that we have a 10-day sprint that runs nonstop till we finish everything in the backlog. Now, within that, we have this time for the daily stand up that everybody has to come to that stand up. Then we have the product backlog grooming session. Then we know that it's going to happen on this particular day. We have the sprint planning session going to happen on this particular day. And also then we have the sprint review session that happens on this particular day. So we all agree on those particular dates. But again, the other thing also, it's too bad we have a long holiday. Um, even with the Scrum Masters, Golda and Jackie, we need to sit down and again relook at the vision that is out there that has been put out there for this particular product. What what is the client looking or aiming to achieve when this product rolls out to production? Let's look at our backlog, our vision, our product goal. Our Is it aligned to what the customers want? So we need to bring that level of sanity as we decompose the product backlog, and even plan out a product roadmap and a release plan. Make sure that the roadmap here actually is a true reflection, and then we put from there, then we decompose it further to a release plan. So we may have a session on Wednesday and Thursday. Then we also sprint planning. Those sprint planning will be more of priority to ensure work goes on, so that at least at the end of the sprint planning, we know that this is the work that is going to continue. But the other sanity we still continue with, so that even as we continue ahead, everything is actually in order.
Yeah, I totally agree with you.
Yeah,
I think our first meeting will be the grooming session.
yeah, that will be the first one. The grooming session has to occur.
Okay. All
Yeah. So I don't know if you have any question.
right. Not at this point. The only thing that I think should be added on this board is that before stuff are marked done, it goes through QA. So only after QA is when we can say that, let's say, like for number, imefanya QA, and it's meeting the acceptance criteria, and then now it's done.
Not necessarily per se. Not necessarily per se. So who's the QA? Do you have a QA in the team? Okay. Then that means, so I think the other thing that we need to work with the technical team or the engineering team is how do we as a team how do we as a team enable or automated testing uh, as a as part of the engineering best practices for this particular delivery. Now, the other thing is that if Golda is going to be the QA, then it means that very, she has to be proactive in the delivery. She has to be very proactive in the delivery. So that means that she has to participate. She has to always be on the lookout for what is being delivered and what is not being delivered. So that at least when a developer pushes something out, then we know that it's actually now for the QA to actually pick it up and run with it. But I think above all is for us to agree how are we working as a team, because we need to agree as a team how are we working, because the how we work is going to play a major role on how delivery is done. Because if we do not have a proper way of working and collaboration, then it means delivery is going to be really impacted. So that means that everybody who is in the this particular delivery is aware that this is what they need to be doing at any given time and at all times.
Thank you, Jackie, for showing us all once again that if we all work really hard, we'll never be as incredible as you. Thank you, Mr. Liberty. I hope the first organization.
Okay, let me just Wednesday's morning hours is a little bit, so we may have to be in the afternoon because my morning hours for Wednesday is a little bit packed. So my Wednesday morning is actually packed. So we can do it in the afternoon. I'm thinking Wednesday from maybe 2:30 there, or maybe we need that time when we sit down. Then there'll be no interruption at any given time. So maybe tentatively book for Wednesday okay, from 2:30 or from 2 p.m. or what time is what how is your time? How is your time looking like? Hmm. Hmm. Or the whole of Wednesday.